Howdy folks, this is John. I want to tell you about my experience buying a mining GPU. Man, I tell you, this here GPU is really something. If you never had a 3090 before and you've been used to working on a 5700 XT like I have the last couple of years, it's like, wow, this is a real boost up. But, I bought this thing sight unseen from eBay. It's like, is it smart to buy a pig in a poke? Probably not, you might say, but what if the seller's verified, like this guy was, with a 100% track record of good reviews? And if you get something like eBay, that'll kind of step in and help a little bit if you got a problem and dispute. That makes it a little easier to buy that pig in a poke. My lovely Sapphire 5700 XT, it's a good card and always runs nice and cool, and I'm used to it. But as I learn to do more of what may be art on my computer, I find myself really needing to amp up the needs for power. Now I'm stymied by the multi-hour tasks I assign to my GPU. One render process took me 18 hours to finish off last week. It's like I really need a more powerful graphics card. And I was working on the non-NVIDIA platform, but NVIDIA has a well-deserved reputation for being the premier graphics card for artists and creators. A lot of those art programs I use, they're designed with an NVIDIA card in mind, and they asked me, do I want to use and set the NVIDIA programming on it and get better performance? Well, yes, I do, but I ain't got an NVIDIA. I mean, those things are real pricey. Oh my gosh. And the GPU shortage, I mean, it's pinching us on these new cards. The prices are way over MSRP still. But now there's getting to be a ton or hundreds or thousands of tons of graphics cards in the hands of miners. And they've had this economic incentive to just pay whatever price it took to get the card because they could make money off of it still. But now that's kind of gone away. A lot of those people aren't able to do this anymore, the economics of it, the electric costs, etc. And they're having to start to sell those pieces off. And you got the NVIDIA 30 series, which is really a favorite of these people. And how many of these thousands of GPUs are being sent into secondary market daily? But the internet, it used to be everything was factual and could not be on the internet unless it was true. But now everything seems to be full of lies, distortions, and Kardashians. How does one buy a used mining rig that doesn't stink of the lamp? First, examine the seller and their previous sales, the number of them, and their reputation. They might be someone new who's selling off their mining rigs, so they may not have a lot of sales. In that case, you gotta communicate with them, find out how they took care of the card. Did they have a special BIOS in it just for mining that's gonna cause you problems after? Did they understand that these 3080s can run a little high on the temperature, so did they swap out the thermal pads and upgrade the card from the beginning, so that way the whole time they had it ran steady with its fans going and everybody was happy and having a good time? So you gotta find all that stuff out from the seller. And it might be good to really look a little more dubiously at any that are in a place like Tampa or Miami that's right near the salt water with a lot of humidity. But you know what? You might be better off buying from that guy who's a miner than a nearby guy who's a gamer. Because when you shut the gaming rig off and go to work or school or whatever, that thing can condense moisture inside the case, and that could cause oxidations and corrosions and stuff like this. It might be that a mining rig that's properly maintained with lots of clean, fresh air and a cool environment, really good thermal pads, someone who understands that you can't get the last mega hash out of the thing without causing harm to it, and they want it to run for 10 or 15 years for them, there's potential that could be done with real good care. So a miner who has those type considerations like a good stockman would with his animals might be someone to consider buying from. And they got to get rid of the darn things. People are wary of buying them, so they're having to sell them for what I think are getting to be good prices. At least try to get a feeling for whether they're a reputable and honest person. See if you can get a few pictures of the rig, some close-ups of the fins to make sure there's no corrosion. And if they can show you a screenshot or something of the temperatures it runs at and the running time with no downtime, that would show you that you've probably got a card that's going to be running okay. Now, when you have got the thing in, do as I'm doing here, unwrap the box on video. Make sure that you show that the address and the label has not been tampered with, that you haven't re-taped it, that sort of stuff. That way, if what you pull out isn't a 3090, but maybe a 6-year-old graphics card or something like that, you can show that you were sent a pig in a poke, which is a pig in a bag without you knowing what's in it. It might be a cat or something. So anyways, after I got in, I had to download the drivers. I also had to download a driver eradicator thing to remove the old AMD drivers. And this is only a big thing if you're going from AMD to NVIDIA or NVIDIA to back to AMD. And you're supposed to do this in safe mode, but my computer and I could not come to terms on this and had a disagreement, so we decided to just go ahead and do it in regular mode, and I don't think it caused any problems at all. Thing booted right up, and I had weird screen settings. I had to go into my settings and change, and in a few minutes everything looked great. But the speed you can edit with this, and the way you can run through the timeline on like DaVinci Resolve 18, just swipe back and forth and have lots of fun and enjoy it and not be stymied by glitches and stops. And the 5700 XT did really well because compared to what I had before. So another consideration is this pulls a lot of juice. I mean, it's like I got an 850 watt titanium power supply. That's like really good. But I'm pushing over close to 800 watts of power with everything running full steam at times, and I've got an 810 watt UPS backup, which in the past, when I bought it 5 years ago, I thought that'd last me the rest of my life. But it's going to wind up powering the TV in the future, I think, because I need something a bit stronger, and that's going to be the focus of another video. And I'm also going to de-shroud this here 3090, so if you want to see both of those videos when they come up, click like, hit the subscribe button, and smash the notification bell. Hey folks, thanks a lot for hanging out. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.